Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. My screen is messed up as hell right now, like it's a pain to look at. It's flashing in pink and green colors, but I'm gonna have it repaired soon. But I'm doing an attempt at a video here. Today we're gonna talk about calorie counting versus intuitive eating. Which one is superior? So I've made another video basically about calories in, calories out. Is it actually true? But I gave it a more algorithmic title. Is Greg Doucette wrong about calories in, calories out? I think I called it. But anyway, in that video, I talked about how in the fitness and health community, there's basically this divide between people who are very calorie centered, calories, all that matters, if it fits your macros, calories in, calories out, and people who don't like that calorie focus and focus more on the quality of the foods that you eat and how often you eat, intermittent fasting and such. And I made a point that it's dumb to just pick one side here, because obviously both the amount of food that you eat and the quality of the foods that you eat matters. Like in the calories in, calories out equation, many different things can affect the calories out part. Not only exercise, actually what types of foods that you eat, and some foods that are, junk food that doesn't contain many nutrients, the body can't be as productive with, and it more easily ends up as body fat. So in this video, I want to talk about where I see calorie counting being useful, my experience with it, how I do it with clients, and how I don't really have to count calories anymore, and I don't think anyone needs to really in the long term, forever, So let's start like this. I think having counted calories is a great experience, especially if you've not really been into, been thinking much about your diet. I don't mean that you never went on a diet, like I'm on the keto diet now, or I got this food schedule from a nutritionist or whatever. I mean that you just don't really have super set habits with it. You kind of eat whatever, you eat out a lot, and when the junk food or snacks pop out, you just eat, you're probably not in tune with like how much energy do I really run on? Because energy, even disregarding the word calories, what is it? It's a way of measuring energy in food, right? Another thing is that a lot of people, they don't really know how much energy different foods contain. And so just forcing this, like now I'm watching the amounts, and how you're gonna have to, with you watching the scale as you do this, you're gonna figure out like, okay, when I've been eating like this, I've been gaining weight or losing weight or maintaining weight. You're gonna kind of figure out what is your fuel demand, your energy demand, how much energy do you run on, but you're also gonna learn how much energy different foods contain. Like I don't know how many times I've heard when someone started counting calories. I don't just mean clients, just people talk to me about this, but one thing I've heard so many times specifically is like, oh, I never so much calories in the bread, because people, it's easy to eat a lot of bread. It's not super calorie dense, but in comparison to the satiation, but that's just an example. There's nothing big against bread from me really, just in moderate amounts, I'd say. That's not the point though. So me personally, when I started cutting weight at the start of when I got into fitness and working on my health, first I went on, because I had done that once before on kind of a dare. I went on a low carb diet because I knew that back when I did it the last time, I kind of ended up losing weight without really counting calories, But so I did this for a while, and then my weight loss stalled, and then I started counting calories, I used to start with some kind of calculator. I think one I've gone to many times is tdeecalculator.net, total daily energy expenditure calculator, .net. And those won't always be super accurate, but probably not be completely out of whack. It's a good place to start, just entering your stats there, right? And so yeah, I went on a deficit from there, and I counted my calories, and I kept losing weight, Then when I started bulking, I didn't really count calories, because you just eat more, eat good foods, eat more. And back then I ate more often too. But so yeah, I kept doing this for a while. Like when I was cutting again, I counted calories, and through this process, I figured out very much like what watching the scale, seeing, okay, I'm losing weight on this, okay, I'm not losing weight, I'm stalling my weight here. You figure out what your calorie maintenance is, what your just energy demand as a biological vehicle is, right? And yeah, obviously I learned to what I said. How much, how many calories do different foods contain? But what ends up happening when you do this for a while is that you don't really have to think about it anymore, because calories. It's very mechanical. This, right? The watching. Okay, this is so much. But do you think the reason people are overweight these days is they're not counting calories? No, it's obviously due to sedentary lifestyle and these hyper palatable junk foods, that disrupt your hunger signals, and so easily end up overeating, and like I said, if there's no useful nutrients in there, the body is just more prone to put on fat, right? But so what I'm saying is that it's not like us humans are supposed to have to watch what we eat so closely, to not get overweight, right? But so when you've done this for a while, though, you get in touch, how much you run on, and then you kind of can stop thinking in terms of numbers like that. So what I'll tell you as an example is that before I went on my recent bulk, that's now finished, I'll soon be putting out videos about that. But before that, I had kind of a maintenance routine, or kind of almost main gaining routine, because I was aiming for maintenance calories or slightly above, basically. I didn't want to lose weight, I didn't bulk, but if anything, I wanted to be above my maintenance, But so my routine with eating is I eat 3 meals per day in an 8-hour eating window is my baseline. If I'm on we're talking maintenance there, this is what I do. I eat very similar like most days. There are some foods I rotate in and out, but basically to tell you the most typical day of eating for me, the first meal is this thing that I do with this has evolved through this whole process, different variations of this, but right now it's Greek yogurt, kefir to make it just a little more liquid. I have protein powder, I have honey in there, I have berries, and I put a few supplements like creatine, boron, magnesium, vitamin D in there. Take it out of the capsule. That's not the point really. But I have this, I have a bit of liver, I have 3 eggs, I have a carrot, I have a glass of orange juice. And then basically the 2 other meals are basically the same, which on a maintenance routine for me is 1 deciliter of uncooked rice, 400 grams of ground beef, a carrot and orange juice again, I have this meat twice, and eating this, I'm not sure exactly how many calories this ends up being, probably like 3,000 plus, I would guess. But that's not the point. I don't have to, because I now know, and I have some, I will rotate in some sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, some salmon here and there, do little swaps. But this is a very typical day for me. But so when I go to bulking like I did, I just just up the rice. I eat exactly the same, just up the rice. Instead of 1 deciliter uncooked per the other meals there, just add 1.25 deciliters of rice. Instead, I watch the scale and I see that my weight is going up. It's like, okay, I am on a surplus, At some point, my weight will stall, and then, okay, this is my current maintenance. Now that I'm heavier, I will, if I keep doing my same lifestyle, going about my life, being heavier, I, will expend more energy doing the same things, and it will even out. You can't be on the same surplus forever if you want to bulk and gain weight, right? So then it's like, okay, I add maybe a little bit of more rice, and like I've done, just add the occasional extra meal, because it's not that you have to be on the exact same calories every day, right? It's like you should have a weekly calorie surplus, so that will end. If I could do that too, right? Keep the 1.25 deciliters of rice per meal and just throw in 2 or 3 days in the week a 4th meal, and boom, I am on a surplus again. And so you see, right? And when I'm gonna cut, I always start out from this baseline I have with my 3 meals, okay? I will lower the rice, maybe even below 1 deciliter, but I will also, because I don't have to be on a daily deficit, because I do the prolonged fasting. I will do a 48 to 72 hour fast here and there. But I could also, if I just don't I don't feel like doing a fast for some reason, it will just not work out with my life, right then, I might just remove 1 meal here and there instead. Do you see how I don't really have to count calories? to be able to adjust the amount of food I eat according to my goals. But having counted calories and figured out where kind of my baseline is, it was very useful. So when I work with clients, obviously it's both for my sake that when doing it with someone else, creating a nutrition plan for someone else. I I can't just do it intuitively, right? Because it's not me, and yeah, I'm not there if it's online and all that. But also, I kind of want to force this thing that I'm talking about upon the person. Just I've called it Mr. Miyagi them into just knowing, having good knowledge about how they work, their maintenance calories and all that, and that's something a lot of my clients have reported actually. Like going through the coaching with me, they feel like they have a much better overview of how they should be eating according to their current goals. So very happy about that. But yeah, like I said, obviously, I can't just eat more. Now I just eat a bit less. I of course. So when working with someone, it just makes sense. But my plan, since a coaching thing most likely isn't a permanent situation, my plan is to take them through and have them experience the same thing as me. That learning what how much different foods contain and what they, as a biological vehicle, how much energy do they run on. So I think I'll end this video here. Please leave a comment. You never know. This is pretty much talking off the top of my head about this topic, my thoughts, my experience with it. So anything other you want me to expand further on in the comments or in another video, please let me know. And please like. All comments and likes help support the channel, so I appreciate it a lot. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, building muscle, losing weight, uncommon sense takes on many different things. Okay, I'll see if I can manage to end this video because I can't see where the stop button is, but peace guys, see ya.